This is Phil with Android Central, and this is the all-new Moto X. One of our favorite phones of 2013 and for much of 2014 was the Moto X. It was an imperfect device plagued by a disappointing camera and bemoaned by those who think that what's on a specs list is what really matters. But the Moto X also found itself a pretty ardent fan base, and rightfully so. It was powerful, but it bucked the size trend. It also avoided feature overload, instead opting for a relatively stock Android build with just a few choice additions. The new Moto X retains much of that, though it has grown both in size and in power. We'll start out front with the larger 5.2-inch AMOLED display, up from 4.7 inches, and it's a good bit bigger than the original Moto X. There are 4 infrared ports on the face that help identify hand gestures, as well as keep the phone awake when you're looking at it, or put it to sleep faster if you're not. What looked like raised dual speakers are on the top and the bottom, but in reality you've just got an earpiece and a single speaker. It's good and it's loud, but HTC's boom sound is still better. The central body of the phone is now aluminum, and it serves as the phone's antennas. And all things being equal, it actually makes the phone look nicer, rather than having a couple pieces of plastic sandwiched together. Out back is where you'll find the redesigned 13-megapixel camera with dual LED ring flash. And it's got a new dimple that's much more pronounced and not quite as comfortable as last year's Moto X. Now it's got some options when it comes to the back material of the phone. New this year is the addition of leather from the Horween Leather Company, down the road from Motorola here in Chicago. The leather looks and feels great, but we do have to wonder if it's going to be staying that way after 8 or 10 months of use. We'll just have to see. Software-wise, we've got a relatively stock Android 4.4.4 build. Carrier versions will have bloatware, of course, and this 16GB model we have here only has about 10 gigs left over for the user. 32GB models will be available as well, though. Motorola has moved a number of its customizations under a single Moto app, and that's where you'll find Moto Assist, Actions for gesture control, Moto Voice, and Display. Moto Connect lets you get text messages and call info on your computer, and Motorola Migrate helps get your stuff off your old phone and onto this one. The camera and gallery have been updated as well. There's now an option for shooting in 4:3 or 16:9 aspect ratio. There's a best shot feature that forgives blinks and blurs, and a highlight reel stitches together the best still pictures and videos from an event. And perhaps most important is that our initial test shots are already showing some market improvement. We'll be keeping a close eye on this camera. The real takeaway here is that the Moto X is bigger and better, and it's still priced pretty competitively at $99 on contract with some carriers here in the US, and $499 outright and unlocked. You'll still be able to customize it through Moto Maker, and look for it in September in North America, Latin America, Europe, and Asia.